Welcome. We'll start with class 6 geography. We'll start with chapter 6, that's the major landforms of earth. Now, before we start understanding the major landforms, we'll start with the processes. Now, there are various kinds of processes that lead to formation of landforms, and we call those either the internal process which occur below the earth's surface, or you have the external processes which are externally induced. For example, if you have a kind of heavy rainfall that is coming, you would have soil erosion that would take place. This soil which is eroded would later on deposit onto the river basins or the levees. So you would have depositional activities that would happen. Now this kind of erosion and deposition is a kind of external process that is induced externally. However, there are processes which are affected internally. For example, you have kind of volcanic erosion volcanic eruption that takes place. As a result, you have the plate tectonics that happen. So all these processes are internal in nature, and the basic idea for any internal process to originate is either the process of upliftment or subsidence. So you have either the sinking of the earth crust or the earth's surface, or you have the upliftment. Now when we talk about upliftment, you have creation of mountains that takes place, and then we talk about subsidence, where you have kind of rolling pattern, where we talk about the ideas of slope development given by Davis and Planck and so on. So it's basically the removal of the upper topmost layer and deposition to the later parts, and you also have the folds and the faults that takes place, which lead to the formation of host and garbins. So all these are kind of internal features which occur either due to kind of folds or faults or subsidence and upliftment. So the basic idea for landform origin or landform understanding is understanding the various processes that takes place. Now the next important thing is, if we broadly classify landforms, we can simply say they are of three types: mountains, plateaus and plains. So if I say, if it's a kind of flat land, we call it plain. If it's a kind of tabular mass which is protruding onto a flat land, we call it plateau. And finally, if you have kind of elevated land mass, we call it mountains. Now the most interesting thing is, there are certain differentiations that you must remember. First is hill. Hill is a kind of very small height or kind of small elevated mountain. We call it as hill. Then you have the mountain as such, which is much higher as compared to hill. Then the next is range. Range is a series of mountains. So one mountain, next mountain and next mountains is range. And then you have cordilleras. And these are kind of systems of mountain ranges. So there are numerous ranges which come together to form cordilleras. So this is a kind of progression that we see under mountains. Now what we will be understanding today is the fundamental difference that we have talked about in the structure of mountain, plateau and plains. We will understand these features one by one. So the best idea is to do that on a world map. Now we will start with mountains first, being the most complicated ones among the three. So you have mountains which could be classified into two types. I can say the mountains could be either you have kind of formations that takes place due to folding and faulting, as in the case of Himalayas. So you have fold mountains, you have block mountains, and also kind of less commonly known are the volcanic mountains. Now fold mountains, as we understand, can be again of two types. They can be young fold mountains and old fold mountains. So we will first start with the classification of mountains, the fold mountains and the young fold mountains. So I say young fold mountains are the Himalayas, you have the Alps. So you have mountain chains that are being folded by the endogenic forces. When I say endogenic, that means internal. And if I say exogenic, those means external, that we have already talked about. So mountain formation takes place either through internal forces or external forces. When we talk about internal forces, we mainly will discuss the internal forces for now. So you have the endogenic forces, and the fold mountains are due to coalescence, or I could say convergence of various mountain systems, and that lead to formation of either young fold mountains or old fold mountains. Young fold mountains, the classic examples are Himalayas, Alps, then you have Andes, Rockies. So all these, Rockies in North America, Andes in South America. So all these are young fold mountains. When I talk about old fold mountains, a most common example that you might have heard is of Aravallis in Rajasthan. So you have Aravalli mountain ranges. Then you have Appalachians and Urals. So you have the Appalachian landmass here. You have Urals in United States, in Europe. So all these are old fold mountains. Now next comes the block mountains. Block mountains, as I previously talked about, are made either of block that moves up and down. So it's a kind of faulting that occurs, and you have host and Garbin formation that occurs. The common example is the Rhine Valley and the Vosges. So you have Rhine and Vosges as the common example for block mountains. Then comes the volcanic mountains. Mount Fujiyama in Japan, Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa are some of the volcanic mountains. Volcanic mountains are also commonly seen along the Pacific Ring of Fire. So you have the Pacific Ring of Fire that we already talked about in the previous session, and along the Pacific Ring of Fire you would have numerous volcanic mountains that could be seen. So this was the basic classification for mountains. Now moving on to plateaus, we understand that in India you have a most familiar plateau, that is the Deccan Plateau. Now these plateaus are mainly formed by lava, and when I say they are formed by lava, I can say they are volcanic in origin. An extension of Deccan Plateau is the Chota Nagpur Plateau in India. Now this Chota Nagpur Plateau is a kind of reserve for numerous minerals like iron, coal and manganese. You have Deccan Plateau, which is again lava based, which is home to numerous minerals. So these are some of the examples that I cite from India. Now if I talk about worldwide distribution, you have firstly the Tibetan Plateau that plays a major role in the monsoonal activities. So north of India in the autonomous region of China, you have the Tibetan Plateau. Then you have the Western Plateau of Australia. Then you have the Eastern Plateau region of Africa. This comprises of Uganda, Tanzania and Kenya. Then you have the Columbia Plateau that is seen in United States. So these are some of the commonly talked about plateaus. Now one of the important understanding of plateau in India is these plateaus are also centers for tourism and scenic activities. For example, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, you have the Hundru Falls, and those Hundru Falls are located on Subranekha River. And then you have again in the south of Deccan Plateau, you have the Jog Falls in Karnataka on Shravati. So these are some of the major waterfalls that are part of the plateau system. Again, the mountains are known for their trekking activities. Now next come the plain. Plains are the most fertile regions. So they are mainly predominant activity is primary sector, that's agriculture and industries allied to agriculture. So you have the agro-based industries that thrive here. So in India, it's predominantly the Ganga Brahmaputra river basin that is home to maximum number of kind of highly dense population in India. Then you have the Yangtze river in China. So these are some of the major plain areas which are kind of highly fertile in nature and are major source of economic activity for the common masses. So this was a kind of simple topic where we have talked about the basic classification. If you want to refer the classification of mountains and mountain systems in detail, We have already covered that in a separate lecture. You can refer that. We'll be continuing with more NCERT series in the further classes. You can subscribe to our channel for more updates. Have a good day ahead.